Hi Flosstube, it's Mel and this is my channel Patchy Pony Stitcher, a channel all about cross stitch, and this is episode 50. Feels like it should be episode 1 because it's been 6 months since I've been back, and it's a bit daunting making a Flosstube after 6 months and remembering what to do and what you need to get prepared, but let's do it. I am sorry I haven't been back for 6 months. I have had issues with my memory on my phone. I did do 2 lives late last year. My last update was in September. And I must admit, live is not my favourite method of filming because you really are, there's no room for mistakes or errors. And I'm a floss tuber that likes to actually edit and put photos in, which you can't do on a live, unfortunately. So as the stars aligned, I dropped my phone not long ago and it shattered and I had to get a new phone, which meant new memory. So we're going to give this a crack and go deep and dive back into the world of Flosstube and creating videos. So if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for hanging in there with me and waiting for some new content. I know it's been a bit of a long wait. And to any new subscribers or anyone coming along for the first time, welcome. I hope there's something here that you like and you hit the subscribe button. I've got a bit to share for you today, 6 months worth. So I've got some finished objects. I've got some whips for you. I'm not going to go into every single piece that I've touched in 6 months because it's just way too much. So we'll get started, and I do have quite a few patterns to show you from my shopping and stack acquisitions from the last 6 months with Christmas and sales and so forth. So the first finished object I want to show you is one that I was working on at the Daisy Chain Stitches retreat back in October last year. So I had just started it. I was humming and hawing whether I should take it to a retreat because it does have swear words on it. So if you are easily offended by swear words, I'm not going to read it out. You'll need to look away when I show the finished object. It was a gift. It was meant to be for my son's 21st in November. Didn't get done, did it? So it ended up being a Christmas gift for him, which he really appreciated and knew how much time and effort I had put into that. So here is a picture of the finished object, and it's great being able to put photos back into my video. So this one is called the Video Game Fundraiser Sampler. And I've got Dawn Marie to thank for this one. She had been doing it on her channel, which I'll link below. And as soon as I saw it, it was like, rush over and get that one. Now this one, if you do want to purchase it, it's a fundraiser from 2020, but you can still purchase it on the Facebook side of Screaming Heart Designs, but you do have to scroll down a bit. And you make a donation to their charity, forward them the receipt, and then they will send you the PDF. This stitch had 3 attempts at a start before I could get going. The first attempt I orientated the fabric wrong. The second attempt, I decided that I didn't like the Ada that I was working on. And then finally the third attempt, and I still got the dimensions of the fabric wrong. So I am missing 1 row from the sampler in there, but I don't think you can really tell. But in being black's not my favorite color of fabric to work on, but we got through it, and it was good fun because it had bright colors and the motifs were relatively easy to follow. So this is a great one for your teenagers if they like playing video games, because if you know, you know, and I'm sure of you plenty will know. But I tell you what, I do miss that because I'm now an empty nester. Both of my boys have moved out, 21 and 1 is a police officer and has been moved to a different part of the state. And my younger son is now studying in university in another state because you can't study that here in Tasmania, which is a real shame. So what I would do to have the screaming from the computer room in back just to know that they're home. But anyway, they do come home often. Now the second FFO, that is the only FFO I'm going to show you. The next are all finished objects oh no, beg your pardon, I do have one FFO, so let me get that here. So this is from Blue Flower Designed by Jean McGowan, which is the Winter Squirrel. I've had this one for a while. It is a 2018 market release. So that must have been when I just started stitching. So this is my 5th year back into the wonderful craft. Now, I'm not going to show you the before photos because I don't have them anymore. As I said, my phone died. Therefore, I lost lots of photos and lots of data. But this is where this one ended up. Now, this is on a board that I got. No, my husband made this for me. And then I just gave it a bit of a wipe over with some stain. And this is the finished product. So I've just done a flat fold on some sticky board, put a bit of lace top and bottom. And this is done on an even weave that I hand dyed myself with the Cold For fabrics. And in saying that, I do wish I had used the, they were Gentle Arts. I wasn't going to be buying Gentle Arts when I was new back into stitching, but it would be nice if this squirrel did have some variegation in his coat. Unfortunately, he doesn't. But I'm very happy with how that finished off, and I might even send Janine a photo because she does show her designs finished up on her channel. So if you haven't checked out the Janine McGowan at the Blue Flower, go ahead and jump over there because she's got a great channel and she has some fantastic designs. So they're my 2 FFOs. Now the other FOs are quite small. They're all smalls actually, but let me get started. So the first one is I did 2 little, I'll show you them, 2 little St. Patrick's Day stitches. This one is by While Iris Naps, Shamrock Wishes and Irish Kisses, which I want to pop into a pillow, and then this one is Lucky You. Now this is a freebie by the Silver Creek Samplers. This is a 2023 freebie for this year, and I do love it. However, you will notice that I didn't put in the pot of gold or the orange beard. I just liked the sheep as he was. So I was really happy with that, but of course I didn't get time to finish those before St. Patrick's Day for little pillow finishes. So that is on my to-do list. The other finish I had was from Georgia Girl Stitches. She's done some paws in plaid, and she did ask if anyone had any ideas for other pets that they'd like to see. And I did reach out to her and say, oh, horseshoes would be great. So she did up horseshoes in plaid. So I'll also link Georgia Girl Stitches below. Now these are on her Gumroad, and Gumroad is a pay-as-you-go type of website. So I chose to do, I didn't pick any of the colours that Georgia Pop, no, she's not even Georgia. Oh, I'm so sorry, I have forgotten your name. She's from Georgia. But I chose my own colours, and that is the finish of my horseshoe in plaid. And I was going to do that as part of, also for a St. Patrick's Day, little flat fold finish or little fold, but again, haven't done that. But that was a nice easy stitch using up some fabrics, you know, that bag that you have with little odds and sods, and also your floss bag with all odds and bits and pieces in there. So I just used up that and used our white toile for the actual shoe to give it a bit of a silver shine like a metal shoe. So that's my other finish. Now the other one I wanted to have a play on some 40 count. Didn't want to commit to a big project. So I went through my little Christmas designs, ornaments from Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher, and I settled on this one, and it's Winter Flakes. Now I started this off, and as I was is it Winter Flakes? Yes. So as I was doing it, it's tough. 1/1 on 40 count. This is my very first go at 40 count. So I'm glad I only committed to something small, and it was very it was unnerving as you're going, because you're not, it looks a bit bunchy until things start to come together. But this is my finish. Now I changed it from Winter Flakes to Winter Feels. Now the reason I did that is because I had a little frame in mind that I wanted it to fit into. So this is just from Kmart, $2 little frame from at Christmas time, but of course we don't get snow at Christmas here in Australia. So I changed it to Winter Feels so I can frame it in there for my winter decor. But I'm really happy with how the stitching came out. But like I said, I'm glad I didn't commit to a big piece on 1/1 with 40 count. And I just pulled some colours that I liked for that, and I may even still pull that Krynic out, but I'm worried that it'll damage the fabric. I think I put the Krynic in there for a challenge at the time when I was stitching this, of having to stitch on metallic, and I'm just worried because Krynic is thicker that it will actually leave marks. So I don't know, I may just leave it in there and pop this. You'd think it wouldn't be too hard to pop that into the frame, but it's sat around for 4 months waiting to be done. What do you do? Now, so this was a whip that I abandoned, Corner and Curves by Rosewood Manor. And it had sat in my whip pile for a long time, a long time. And it only came out at challenges, and I really didn't have any desire to stitch on it at any other time. And it's not because of the linen, and it's not because of the thread. I've got this beautiful hank of Silks For You coloured silk there, but I don't know what it was. It just wasn't calling to me. So rather than abandon and throw away, I squared it off. So what I had started was up in this corner. So I squared it off, popped an M in there, and I'm just going to make a little pillow out of that for my spring decor. Is that a thread? Oh no, it's a slub. Yeah, so I'm happy with what it is, but I'm glad I did abandon that, because and I think maybe I wouldn't have put a big piece up on the wall with that colour selection. So just for a little pillow, it's fine, but it's not really my home decor colours for a large piece. And you can see how large that would be if that's only that little top corner there. So Tess, this is coming your way. Because I know that you wanted to stitch it, and I don't know, I don't think I will keep a big hank of silk for a large project, so that might hit the stash unload for that one. So they are my finishes, and really I've got a lot of work to do, because I've got to FFO them and make some pillows, but the sewing machine just hasn't been calling. So let's get started into what I'm currently working on. So excuse me while I bend down for a moment and pull these up. So let's start with some Easter stitching. So I've been stitching on While Ira Snaps, which was a freebie from 2021, which I still think you can get on her on her website. And I am doing this as for a drum. So I'm stitching 3 bunnies, a carrot, and I'll just keep going until I get to the end of the fabric. Now this fabric is by Fancy Fabrics, and it's a 28 count speckled egg. And to me it looks just like one of those Easter eggs. It's got lots of speckles on it. So I really enjoy doing this little stitch. It's a really nice, cute one. And I'm using the, I think it's the Weeks Dye Works in this one to get the variegation in the bunnies. So that's just on a 28 count. So it's a nice size for a drum. So that was one. I'm only showing you 5 whips today because, as I said, it would take forever to go through everything I've been working on in 6 months. Now I'm going to show you 2 new starts that I've been doing and really enjoying. The first one is Oh Joyous Day by Blackbird Designs. This is my first Blackbird, and I'd won this in a giveaway and it's probably not something I would have purchased myself, and Blackbirds really haven't called to me until now. It's not till you stitch a Blackbird and realise how beautiful they are stitched. The photos just do not do it justice. So I am stitching this on a 32 count even weave. Oh no, this is classic, what is it, country vintage mocha, where it's a printed, so it's plain on one side and mottled on the other. And I've started at the bottom, and I just love how that's coming along. It'd be good if I could hold it nice and for you. And it's just lovely. It's a really nice stitch, and I'm really enjoying it. So more Blackbirds have made it into my stash acquisition since I've started this one, but I really enjoy that. I'm not using all the overdyes. I'm just using what I had in my stash at the time of kitting up. I may add more in there as we get to the bird and the house in the next one. Most people start at the top. I started at the bottom because I needed a challenge that was all green. So I just popped in all those leaves to begin with, and then came back for the next challenge and put some petals in, and really liking that and enjoying it. So that's one I am looking forward to getting back to. So that's Oh Joyous Day by Blackbird Designs. The next little one I started only last week, Hands On Design Autumn Skies. Again, for a challenge where I needed something for 12, and we've got 12 pumpkins. And this is my start. Now this is on a 32 count linen using the DMCs called for. And I'm really happy with how that's coming along at the moment. But that will go away. That will just be a challenge piece when something of my larger pieces doesn't call, that doesn't suit the challenge, then that one will come out for a completion. But really liking that piece. Now my two big ones, I might show you, I'll leave the big girl for last. The fourth one I'm going to show you is Quaker Christmas 2 by ByGone Stitches. This is quite a popular design. Sorry about the picture, it's black and white because it's a PDF, and I'm a paper chart girl, so I do need to have it printed off, and it looks terrible in the picture. This is one I've been working on for quite some time, and I'm using the DMC thread 115, and this is where I'm up to. And I just love it. I cannot wait for this to be finished. Now, if you're eagle-eyed, you can see that I did put in 2022 into this, and it is not going to be finished. Well, 2022's passed, and I'm not going to rechange it to 2023 until I have finished it. I do have a little bit ways to go. I probably think I'm about 3/4 done, but really happy with how that's coming along. The chart does call for the words to be in green, but I have kept everything in the 115, which is the variegated DMC. So it's easy to get hold of. It's consistent. I think I've used about maybe 7 skeins so far, and it gives a nice variety of reds. But that is just lovely. Hopefully this will be my screenshot. So that's on an even weave, a 32 count even weave with the DMC. But of course you can stitch that in anything you like. Now, my big girl, Consider the Lilies by Heartstring Samplery. I am doing this, sorry, I thought there was a mark on the book. I'm doing this as a stitch along with Knit and Knot by the Sea. Yes, and I sort of went gung-ho at it, and then other things called and so forth, and I've recently picked it up again, and I have completed the top, so I can sort of get a feel of how big it is going to be. She's going to be big. It's going to cost a fortune to frame. And yes, I will get this one framed professionally because it is so big. If you're going to put this much work in and the thread and everything, you might as well have it done finished properly. So I'm so sad that I can't show you before photos because yeah, anyway, next video we'll have the before and afters for these 5 anyway. So this is where we're up to. So this is only the 2nd row. Gosh, I can't believe how big she is. This is the, you know, the fabric is huge. I have to put this in a pillowcase while the rest of the fabric. So you can see that's the full border. And it's a little bit longer than it is deep or long. Wider than it is long. So she'll be a nice decent size. And I've put my initials in the cartouche rather than this year and my initials. But I am loving that. So this is on a 32 count linen, and I am using some of the weeks. I've been a bit selective because of how much I need. So with items that don't show the variegation all that much, I haven't chosen to use the variegated threads, just the DMC. So and the thing about these is that everyone, when you choose different fabrics and flosses, everyone's is going to look a little bit different. How big is she? Oh, I really enjoy this one too, because it's one motif here and one motif there, and you just feel like you're coming along. And it's not until you pull it out of the Q-snap that you realise how much you've done. You just sort of moving around, because I use quite a large Q-snap, so I sort of fill that Q-snap up before I move it along, and then it's like, oh wow, that looks so good. Right, what else have I got to show you? Oh, I've got a what do they call it? Save the stitches. Now, my sister loves her thrift shops, and she got a big bag of wool at one of the thrift shops and bought it for the wool. And it wasn't until she was pulling all the wool out that she came across this cross stitch completely done at the bottom of the bag. And she's like, oh, do you want this? And I'm like, oh, show me a picture and I'll decide. And I thought it was just lovely. So I don't know what it's called. There's nothing on here. It's on a really slubby linen, and it looks as though it's the DMCs, but it's quite a size. So this ended up, whether it should have ended up in the thrift store with all that wool, who knows? But I thought I'd make this into maybe into a cushion or something. I haven't even ironed it, and it's on quite a stiff linen. So it's even hard to say how old it is, and it does have a stain on it, but that can't go in the bin. It's too, I like the greenhouse in that, so I'm going to do something with that. So I'm not even sure how old it is, and it's beautifully done. The back is magnificent. Like, look at that. No carrying threads, everything lines up beautifully. So it's being done by a very very experienced stitcher. The other little thing I got from Christine by Stitch All the Things was a little needle minder in a giveaway. Isn't that cute? I just love him. That was a nice surprise to get into the mail, because I didn't hear my name called on the video and it just turned up one day. So that was absolutely awesome. Okay, so like I said before, I'd been to a stitching retreat and I've had to put the things away that I got there, all the lovely bits and bobs that people give you and so forth, because it had been 6 months and my things were just hanging around creating a mess. However, I did keep all the new charts together that I had gotten from the retreat and also from the Cruel Gobelin little trip that we did. Then we had some sales at Christmas time. Then Daisy Chain also had a sale as well. So I cannot remember whether I got them from retreat, whether I got them from sales, whether I've got them from D-Stash. So I think we will just start and I will show you what I have collected, because I've got a few. I feel really greedy having all these here. It's a stack, but I'll quickly go through them for you and show you what I've got. So the first one I purchased was Crochet A Go-Go, Believe in Christmas. I think this one came from the daisy chain sale. That one's really cute. This one, it was from the Cruel Gobelin because it's got a sticker on it. And this is one I have wanted for a long time, the Token of Love. So I'm so pleased to have that one by, is it Brenda Gervais? Yes. Though, it is Brenda Gervais, isn't it? Oh no, Country Stitches. Yeah, Country Stitches, sorry. So that one has been one that I've wanted for a long time. So happy to have that one. Another blue flower, Language of Flowers. And I had to have that because I love the daffodils in the springtime. So that will be a fun spring stitch. Madame Chantilly Christmas. Oh, sorry for the glare, but I'm not pulling these out of the plastic. I haven't done a Madame Chantilly yet, so I am looking forward to doing that tiered tray. Then we've got Henpeck, because I want to do the 5 farm animals all together, a bit like how Leslie's doing it from Fat Cat Flossing. And welcome back, Leslie. It was so good to see you today. You're the one who sort of made me go, get off your bum and do another floss tube. So, because Leslie had been gone for about 6 months too, and she'd uploaded one, I'm like, come on, Mel, you got to get this done. Rather than thinking about it and putting it off and not doing it. The next one, Rosewood Manor. Oh, feathers. My mum loves peacocks. So I don't know about all the yellow. I may change that for a different teal, I think. But I do think that's absolutely gorgeous. And I have seen someone stitching this on Flosstube, but I can't remember who it was. But super happy to get that one. Hands-on Design. Now, I think this one was a D-stash. Live Within Your Harvest. And because we live on a sort of a hobby farm, we do lots of our own veggies and stuff. And it came with the velveteen for the top of the drum. So that was too good to pass up. And I don't think I'd seen this anywhere before. So I'm not sure whether this was a retreat thing. But yeah, I hadn't seen that one before when it came up on a D-stash. So happy to get that one. Lindy Stitches had a sale around Christmas time. Now I don't want to show you the chart, and I could not go past this one. I've had my eye on this one for a little while, so that one definitely had to make it into my cart. Don't know when I'm going to stitch all of these, but and this one I've also had my eye on from Lindy Stitches as well, and I do particularly think that's very cute, so that one will get stitched as well. This was off the freebie table at the retreat. I don't think it's got a year on it though from memory. So and it's got the old actual photograph on the chart, and it's by Waxing Moon. But I thought that was just adorable. So that had to come home with me. This one I also got from the retreat. They had, why does this always happen when you're on camera that you cannot remember the names of things? Primitive Stitch Co. I can't remember. I'm terrible. Isn't that awful? They had a little trunk show. Well, not trunk show. They had a store there, and they had these modelled up. Now, ordinarily from the picture, I would have just skipped past it, but actually seeing the model for these, especially in a pair form, it was like had to have, literally had to have. So that's from Threadworks Primitive, and that one will be stitched up. It'd be nice to think it'd be stitched up for Christmas, but who am I kidding? I've got so much to do. This was in the grab bag from the retreat, because Mojo Stitches was there as a designer, and this was a freebie for the bag. And it does say my friends Pecolbin 2022. So Pecolbin was where the retreat was, and this is done in Cottage Garden threads. So yes, I will do I probably won't put my friend's Pacalban, but I do like the border. It's very cute. Hello from Liz Matthews. The autumn cloche made it into my cart at Christmas time. I do love, and I've got the butterfly cloche as well, so I do love both of these. This is huge though. I have seen someone stitch it and it's massive. It wasn't until I saw them stitch it, like if on 14 count, well, I'll probably do it on 32 and it's still 17 inches wide. That is huge. It does not, I did not expect it to be that big. Okay, I got this one, Annie B's, the Haynes sampler. Now, I had only recently started doing Consider the Lilies, and I'm like, oh, samplers, I think I'm all in. So I started looking for my next sampler, and Teresa had all her patterns there from the Daisy Chain shop, and I liked this one quite a bit. So that one made it home with me. Another stitch from hello from Liz Matthews, and this is the 6th day of Christmas, and I'm going to do all 12 of these as trees. So that's the beginning of my collection, and that was this one I only picked up because it was on sale at Christmas. Like one of the shops had a sale, so that came home. And my second Blackbird design, What Remains, had to come home after starting Oh Joyous Day. Isn't that gorgeous? I think I'm going to be one of those now, buy all the Blackbirds. And the final chart I got was kitted up already at the Daisy Chain retreat, and it came with the thread and the linen. Now, I think this is a 32 count. It might have the name. Sorry for the crinkling. No, it doesn't have anything on the fabric to say what the oh, here it is. Number 12 Stitch Co. Got it. They were an online store and at Etsy, and yes, they had a wonderful display of lots of models at the retreat. So seeing that one there, so this is on 36 count. So I couldn't leave that behind, and the colours were just beautiful. I do like blues and greys and greens, and they're all Weeks Dye Works. Oh no, there's one Simply, oh, I haven't heard of that brand before, Simply Shaker. So they are beautiful, and that will be the fabric. So now that I've shown that, I should be able to start it. And I even bought a project bag to start this. So I got a project bag at the retreat to go with it because the colours were just beautiful and matched. So that has had its home ready to go, really straight into a new start pile already. But yeah, gorgeous bags. So that is me done and dusted. I have been busy and I can't even recall what's happened all in the 6 months that I've been gone, other than the stitching that I've done. Just so much has happened. I can't believe it's Easter already. It's crazy. So I think that's all I've got to share with you today. I was going to give away, sorry, I'm going to give away my Blue Flowers Winter Squirrel. So if you would like that, you know all the rules and you know all the keywords not to say, and you will need to come back and hear your name called because I'm not going to reply to a comment due to all the scammers. So if you would like to win the blue flower, I'm happy to send this anywhere in the world. Just say the word winter, and then I will draw for that using the random comment picker next time. And I am hoping to come back more regularly. Let's aim for a month. It might be before that, it might be after that, but once I get my confidence back after posting this video, hopefully I'll be ready and raring to do some more. So until then, guys, I hope you enjoy your stitchy weekend coming up and have a happy and safe Easter. See you soon. Bye.